Alright, so we're going to assemble the new valve assembly for the forward 8N. Got a new exhaust valve, new guide, new one of those, new one of those, and some of those. And this is all except for the valve is genuine New Holland parts, because New Holland has Ford tractors now. But the guide is genuine New Holland. This keep retainer, the spring, and I think this is reproduction, and these. So I'm gonna get this assembled, and we will get it put in the tractor. Some assembly lube on it. That'll mostly keep it from rusting. And we can slide the guide on there, and I did measure the guide valve clearance. It's got 2 thousandths clearance in the guide. Slides real good. And get our new spring. I was hoping that wouldn't have to be compressed, but oh well. Get 2 of these. At least it'll hold its assembly together. Put a little bit of this grease on them to hold them in place. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit it there. I've done this before. There it goes. And it all fell into place. That's the new valve assembly. You can't buy them like that no more. You used to be able to buy them like this. So let's go get it installed in the tractor. Alright, so we're up here in the barn. Got the new valve assembly all ready to go. We're going to drop it down in the hole. From what I've heard, there's no seal on the exhaust valves. Drops right down in there like that. Then what you have to do, take a screwdriver and pry it down to where you can put the keeper in it, like that. And it's in there. That's all there is to it. Let me check down here. Yep, that looks good. Really, this tractor needs a full valve job and have all the updated valves put in it, but they're so hard to get out because all the guides are stuck in their holes. Ignore the chickens. But it would take so much to do that. So I need to find a wrench and adjust the valve clearance. Alright, had to move the camera back a little bit. I'm setting the valve clearance. So, valve clearance 14 to 16. So what I'm going to do is get a 15 thousandths feeler gauge ready. Still need some more. Might be a little too close. There we go. Close. Alright, that feels good right there on 15. Got just about the right amount of drag going through there. I'm going to check one of these other ones. This one right here. Yep, 15 fits. So that one actually feels like it's set to about 16. So that's setting the valve clearance. I know you can't see anything in there, but the new valve is set. Alright, so one thing that I'm doing with this engine, and I'm not doing it on just the new valve, is I am checking the condition of the camshaft with a dial indicator. I got my magnetic base on the side of the engine. I got the big face indicator so that you can see it. And I've already done all of them, but I'll show you how I've done it. And this is just on the new valve that I'm showing here. Bring it around. See the needle start to move. And this is each revolution of this indicator is 100 thousandths. 100. So that's a 16th of an inch, I think. 200, 250, 260, 270, 270. Is that 274? And then it starts to fall back off. So, but anyways, the condition of the camshaft is very good. Every cylinder, it's all consistent all the way across within 3 thousandths, 3 to 4 thousandths. It's consistent all the way across. You don't have to do this. I just do it to check the condition of the camshaft, because one day this engine is probably going to need to be fully rebuilt, and I want to know if I'm going to have to buy a new camshaft. Alright, so it's time to put the head back on the 8N. We've got, here's the head. I was just wiping it down with some carburetor cleaner, being sure it's getting dry. Here's our new gasket, upper end gasket kit, Felpro. And get the head gasket out. This is a new head gasket. Made in the USA, right there. It says this side up. So I guess it's going to go on there like that. Ignore the walnuts hitting the roof. Alright, so I am going to spray the gasket with the Permatex spray a gasket copper coat. Because this block surface isn't very flat anymore, so I'm going to shake this up real good and get it sprayed on there. I know a lot of people say not to do this, but I also moved the camera way back so that I don't get any copper coat on the camera. May have been a little much, but it'll be all right. I'm gonna let it tack up for a minute and then we'll get this head installed. All right, I've let the copper coat get tacked up for a little bit and it's ready to go on here. So the gasket actually says on it this side up. So that side up, I think lines up. Check to make sure we're not blocking any passages. Nope, we're good. Go ahead and drop the head on. We've cleaned it. There. Put it down on there. Got to get all the bolts started and run down. I should have just got an impact and run them down, but I don't like using impacts on stuff like this. Ignore my phone. Keeps going off. I do have a full engine rebuild kit for this engine now. I just want to see how good it runs before I put an engine kit in it. It should be pretty good. Dropped one of them. Alright, so one of the studs come out right here when I took the head off, so we'll just put it back where it goes. And I chased all of these threads with a die. Whenever I rebuild this engine, I'm going to get some of them chrome acorn, I think they're called acorn nuts. However you pronounce it. Sorry if it's taking so long to run these down. Might cut this part of the video out. Alright, so that's all of them. So now I'm just going to use a ratchet and a socket to kind of run them down. Especially this one. And just snug them. There. Alright, so the head torque on a 8N is 40, or not, I'm going to start out at 40, but the head torque is 65 to 70 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go to 70, but I'm going to start out at 40, go to 40, and then go to 70, or 40, 60, and then I go to 70. There is a torque pattern. basically just start in the middle and work your way out. Alright, so it's time to put the valve covers on. Got new valve cover gaskets and they are cork. So what I'm going to do, I could put these on and they wouldn't leak. But on this side that faces the valve cover itself, I'm going to put some of this on it. But I'm only going to put it on one side. What that does is that means if I have to take the valve cover back off, the gasket won't be seated. And I want to apologize for the lighting in here. So we'll lay that on that box like that. Get the top off of my stuff here. We'll just put a thin coat on that gasket. Yes, I really ought to put it on both sides, but I don't think I'm going to worry about it. Well, might as well put it on both sides, but I don't think I will. If it leaks, I can always take it back off and then put some more on it. All right. Alright, so now it's time for the distributor. We're pointing at number 1. It's on TDC. Compression number 1. New gasket behind it with Permatex Indian head on it. A little bit of Permatex Indian head on it. Just needs to be snug. Seems to be latched in. There we go. Alright, so you're going to have to ignore the roosters crowing. I'm going to get the manifold put back on this 8N. I got the new Felpro intake and exhaust gaskets, and they're coated lightly with Permatex Indian head because I don't know how flat this surface is anymore. Also help this one be stuck in place so that it doesn't move. This is a reproduction manifold that somebody has put on here at some point. I can tell because of the way that it is. It doesn't have the vacuum test port drilled. Like I said, ignore the roosters crowing. I got new nuts for the manifold, and I know they are supposed to be brass. I could not find brass nuts anywhere for this. I probably could have ordered some, but I didn't. That one still has a stud attached to it. Alright, so I read online to torque these to 27 foot-pounds. I'm going to torque these to 30 because they're steel and not brass. The adapter. So that's 30 foot-pounds. So manifold's all reinstalled. I have to hook the exhaust back up. So that's about it. It wants to run. overheat it. Well, that done it. Pouring marvelous mystery oil in there done it. Holy bat crap, it's done smoked this barn up. Yeah, I don't want to get it running too warm. I think it built the compression back up. Leaking a little bit of fuel out of that carburetor down there. Alright, so I guess that's going to about do it for part 2 of the Ford 8N project. As you can see, I got a temporary radiator here. Did run it the other day with that radiator in here and get it up to temperature. Nothing leaking. So, but I just had to drain the block and drain the radiator because it's fixing to get pretty cold. And just had straight water in it. So everything's drained. It's supposed to get down to like 26 tomorrow night, so had to make sure water was drained out of everything. Got the water drained out of that. And this has got good antifreeze in it, so I did a couple of things to the B. I got the valve cover gasket changed, and I'm working on a stainless steel straight pipe for it, because I think it'll sound really good. There ain't nothing wrong with the muffler, but I think it'd sound good with a straight pipe. But that'll about do it for part 2 of the 8N project. In part 3, there's going to be a part 3. I'm going to put a new radiator, a correct radiator in it, and we're going to change the distributor because that one is junk. It keeps eating, or it ate the cap and rotor up, and so I'm not gonna, by the time I buy all the parts to fix that distributor, I could have bought a brand new distributor, so I'm gonna just buy a brand new distributor. Oil's pretty clean. It's probably only got maybe an hour on it. I didn't show it on video, but the 3-point does work. The 3-point works, and I did drive it a little bit. It goes through all the gears good. Both ranges work on the Sherman transmission, so everything's good there. Still need to get it a seat, and but right now I'm gonna get it I think I have a bracket around here for the seat, but get it a correct radiator and radiator hoses and a new distributor, and then put the hood back on it. And here in probably a couple of weeks, I'm gonna try to do some plowing with it, as long as it ain't too cold. As long as it ain't too cold, I'm going to try to plow that small field over there with it. So if it'll pull the plow that I got, but that's gonna be it for part 2. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.